What if the person who says they love you the most is slowly erasing who you are? Attention, this is not just another breakup story. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about the most terrifying prison I've ever been in. One that had no bars, no locks, and no visible walls. A prison built entirely inside my own mind by someone who claimed to love me more than anyone else ever could. Warning, if you're currently in a relationship, this story might make you question everything you thought you knew about love, control, and manipulation. Some viewers have told me they had to pause the video multiple times because the psychological tactics I describe were happening to them right now. Prisoner of the mind. As usual, names have been changed to protect the privacy of the people involved. My name is Lucas. I'm 23 years old, and this is the story of how I almost completely lost my identity to someone who claimed to love me. If you're going through something similar, I hope my experience helps you recognize the warning signs before it's too late. 2 years ago, I was going through one of the worst moments of my life. I had just failed my engineering degree, my parents were disappointed in me, and I was working part-time at an electronics store just to have some income. My self-esteem was rock bottom. I felt like a complete failure. That's when I met Melissa. She walked into the store on a rainy Tuesday, looking for a phone charger. She was beautiful, long straight hair, perfect smile, expensive clothes. The type of woman I never imagined would notice me. But she not only noticed me, she started talking. "You have a very beautiful smile," she said while I was processing her card. Most men these days don't know how to smile for real anymore. I turned red immediately. No one had ever complimented me like that, especially not a woman like her. Melissa came back the following week, and the next, always with some excuse. She needed a screen protector for her phone, wanted to look at some headphones, was thinking about getting a new smartphone. But I knew she was coming to see me. "You're different from other guys," she told me during one of those visits. "You're kind, polite. Men my age are all immature and superficial." I found out she was 28, had a business administration degree, and worked at a marketing company, 5 years older than me. But she said that didn't matter. In fact, she said she liked younger men because they were more authentic. When she finally gave me her number, I was over the moon. We spent hours talking on WhatsApp. She sent me good morning and good night messages every day. She said she was in love with my purity and the way I saw the world. "You're special, Lucas," she would write. "You don't know how rare it is to find someone like you." 2 months later, we were officially dating. The beginning. At first, I felt like the luckiest man in the world. Melissa was attentive, affectionate, and seemed genuinely interested in everything about me. She took me to expensive restaurants, gave me gifts, and always complimented me. But along with the compliments, suggestions started coming. "You should cut your hair differently," she said one day, running her hand through my hair. "This cut is too young for you. This shirt doesn't suit you, love. Why don't you let me help you choose your clothes? I have good taste for these things. Your friends are kind of immature, don't you think? You only talk about video games and nonsense. You should hang out with people who elevate you." I thought she was trying to help me. After all, she was older, more experienced, more successful. If she thought I needed to change some things, maybe she was right. I started distancing myself from my friends. When they invited me out, I always had an excuse. Melissa always had something planned for us, or she'd say she was feeling sad and needed me. "They don't value you like I value you," she would say. You see how they don't even care when you don't show up? I'm the only one who really cares about you. And I believed her. Because when I was with her, I felt important. She made me feel like I was the center of her world. 3 months into the relationship, that's when things really started to change. We were having dinner at a restaurant when a young, handsome waiter came to take our order. He was polite and friendly, as any professional would be. But after he left, Melissa was quiet for a while. "Did you see how he looked at me?" she finally said. "No, love. He was just doing his job." "You're very naive, Lucas. Of course you didn't notice. You never notice these things." She sighed, as if dealing with a child. "Look, it's not your fault. You don't have experience with women like me. I've always attracted men's attention. Since I was little, it's something you'll never understand." Something in my chest tightened. "What does that mean?" "Nothing too serious, love. It's just that look at you and look at me. We're on different levels. I could be with anyone. That waiter there, for example, was clearly interested. But I choose to stay with you because I see your potential." "My potential?" "Lucas, you have to be honest with me. You know you're not conventionally attractive. And that's okay. I don't care about appearance. I like you for who you are inside. But you need to recognize reality." I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. No one had ever been so direct about my appearance. I always knew I wasn't the most handsome guy in the world. But hearing this from the person I loved— "Hey, don't be sad," she said, taking my hand. "I love you exactly as you are. You're lucky to have found someone who can see beyond the surface." That night, I went home feeling terrible. I spent hours looking at myself in the mirror, analyzing every flaw in my face. Maybe she was right. Maybe I really was lucky to have someone like her. The escalation. From that day on, comments about my appearance became constant. "You should go to the gym." Not that I mind, but other people judge, you know? "Those pimples of yours are getting worse. Have you thought about seeing a dermatologist? I can pay for you, since you don't have money. Why don't you smile with your mouth closed in photos? Your teeth aren't your strong point." Each comment came accompanied by an "I love you anyway," or "I just want the best for you." And always, followed by excessive affection after she saw that I was hurt. "Sorry, love. I didn't mean to hurt you. It's just that I love you so much that I want you to be perfect. Come here." She would hug me, kiss me, sometimes cry. "I'm an idiot. You're perfect the way you are. It's just that I get insecure sometimes, afraid of losing you. Forgive me?" And I always forgave her. Because in those moments of affection, I felt loved in a way I had never felt before. But the attacks intensified. It started with my appearance, then moved to my intelligence. "Are you sure you want to try engineering again? Maybe it's not for you. Not everyone was born to be intelligent, love." "They invited you to that party. Lucas, you know those parties are full of superficial people. You don't have fun with those things. Stay with me. We'll order pizza and watch a movie." When I insisted, she would get sad. "Okay, go. I'll just stay here alone. Don't worry about me." And she would start crying. How could I leave the woman I loved crying to go to a party? At college, I barely talked to my classmates. Melissa always said they were jealous of our relationship. "That girl in your class is clearly interested in you. It's pathetic. Doesn't she see you already have a girlfriend?" Those group project classmates just want to take advantage of your kindness. You do all the hard work and they take the credit. Gradually, I stopped trusting my own perceptions. If Melissa said someone was acting strangely toward me, I believe you said something stupid in front of my friends yesterday. They must have thought you were kind of simple. Stop trying to seem intelligent when you don't understand the subject. It's embarrassing. When I tried to defend myself, she would roll her eyes. Don't get defensive. I'm just being honest because I love you. Would you prefer I lie to you like everyone else does? And then came the gifts. Expensive clothes she chose for me, imported perfumes, once even an Apple Watch. I saw this watch and thought of you. Sorry for being annoying yesterday. You know I love you more than anything, right? 6 months into the relationship, I no longer talk to my old friends. Melissa always found a reason for me not to go out with them. Her. She was more experienced, smarter. She could see things I couldn't see. Financial control. Then she started controlling my expenses. Love, don't you think you're spending too much money going out with the boys? She said one day, looking at my card statement on my phone. I had only gone out once with some college classmates, the first time in months. I spent $40 at a bar. $40 is a lot of money for you. How much do you earn again? Like $800 a month? I felt ashamed. It was true, my salary was low. Look, how about I give you an allowance? $200 a week. But you show me what you're spending it on, okay? I just want to help you get organized financially. At first, it seemed like a blessing. $200 a week was more than I earned working. But I soon realized that every purchase had to be justified. Why did you buy this book? You don't even like reading. This snack costs $15? You could have eaten at home. You're spending too much on nonsense. Maybe I should reduce your allowance to $150 per week. And when I complained, are you complaining about my money? How ungrateful. I work hard to be able to help you, and you get mad at me. I started asking permission to buy anything. It was easier than dealing with the fights later. 1 year into the relationship, my grades were much better in college, and I didn't fail that year. But even so, she didn't seem happy with my academic progress. You're spending too much time studying, she would say. We barely see each other anymore. Is this college work more important than me? You're stressing yourself out for nothing. It's not like you're going to get a good job anyway. Diplomas don't mean anything these days. When I had an important exam, she always had a crisis. She would say she was feeling depressed, that she needed me, that she couldn't be alone. If you really loved me, you wouldn't leave me alone at a time like this. I would skip classes to stay with her. My grades started dropping. See, I told you that you weren't made for studying. Stop torturing yourself and accept who you are. When I complained that she was hindering me, she exploded. I'm hindering you. I am the only person who believes in you. Your parents abandoned you when you failed the first time. Your friends disappeared. I'm the only one who's here. And you have the nerve to blame me for your own failures. She started crying hysterically. I do everything for you. I support you, love you unconditionally, accept all your flaws. And you treat me like I'm your enemy. I felt like a monster. How could I blame the only person who really cared about me? The turning point. The turning point happened at her cousin's birthday party. Melissa had helped me choose the outfit. A blue dress shirt she'd bought, pants she approved of. Now you look presentable, she said, adjusting my tie. Just don't talk too much, okay? Let me lead the conversations. At the party, I tried to be sociable. I talked to some people, made some jokes. I was feeling good, confident, for the first time in months. But in the car, going home, Melissa was silent. "Did you see how you behaved today?" she finally said. "What do you mean?" "Lucas, you were being ridiculous. Making those stupid little jokes, laughing too loud, trying to get attention. It was embarrassing." I felt my chest tighten. "I was just trying to be sociable." "Sociable? You were being a clown." My cousin commented to me afterwards. "Your boyfriend is kind of too intense, isn't he?" This was a lie. I had seen Melissa talking to her cousin, and they were laughing. But how could I be sure? "In that conversation you had with my cousin about soccer?" My God, Lucas, you don't understand anything about soccer. Why do you keep pretending you know about things? We arrived at my house, and she didn't even get out of the car. "I need some time to think," she said. "I don't know if I can continue with someone who embarrasses me in front of my family." I spent 3 days without talking to her. 3 days analyzing every word I had said at the party, every gesture, every laugh. Maybe she was right. Maybe I really had been ridiculous. When she finally called me, I was desperate. "Melissa, I'm sorry. You're right, I went overboard. It won't happen again."
Lucas, I love you, but you need to understand that your actions affect me too. When you act immaturely, it reflects on me.
I know. Sorry."
Come here. I'll pick you up.
When she arrived, she brought a new shirt.
I bought this for you. See how I love you? Even when you hurt me, I keep taking care of you.
The moment of clarity. The moment of total clarity came 2 months later, at a dinner at her co-worker's house. I was talking to a guy named Peter about movies. It was a normal, calm conversation. Peter had similar tastes to mine, and it was one of the few conversations I was managing to maintain without feeling anxious. Melissa approached in the middle of the conversation.
Peter, you know my boyfriend, Lucas, right? He loves talking about movies, but never really understood real cinema. He watches more of those stupid action movies.
Peter laughed awkwardly.
Oh, but he was talking about some really interesting movies here.
"Yeah, he memorized some things from the internet to impress," Melissa said, laughing.
Lucas, tell Peter about that time you thought Tarantino directed The Matrix.
This had never happened. I never said that. But she told it as if it were true. "No, Melissa, I never said that."
Oh, love, don't be embarrassed. Everyone says stupid things sometimes.
Peter was clearly uncomfortable. He excused himself and left. "Why did you do that?" I asked when we were alone.
Do what?
Humiliate me in front of him.
Lucas, you're being dramatic. I was just joking. You need to learn to laugh at yourself.
"But you made up that I said something I never said." "Wow, what a bad memory. You did say that. Last week. I knew I hadn't said it. I was absolutely certain. But she spoke with such conviction. "Look, if you're going to get mad at me over a silly little joke, maybe we should leave." We left. In the car, she started. "You know what your problem is, Lucas? You have no sense of humor. You take everything too seriously." That's why people find you boring. What people? Everyone. Don't you notice how people change the subject when you arrive? How they make excuses not to go out with you? That's not true. Lucas, please, do you think I don't see it? I feel sorry for you. That's why I stay here, because I know no one else would put up with you. She started crying. I do everything to make you a better person, more interesting, more presentable, and you attack me for it. You have no gratitude. But this time, something inside me didn't completely accept it. A small voice in my head said, "She lied about what you said. She lied." That night, for the first time in over a year, I called my best friend from high school, John. "Lucas, dude, it's been so long. How are you?" His voice was genuinely happy to hear from me. There was nothing forced about it, nothing uncomfortable. "John, can I ask you a question?" "Sure. Do you think I'm boring? Like, that people feel uncomfortable when I arrive?" "What? Dude, where did that come from? I'm serious. Be honest with me." "Lucas, you've always been one of the coolest guys I know. You're funny, intelligent, a good friend. Why this question?" I started crying on the phone. Melissa said everyone finds me boring, that no one else would put up with me. Dude, what is this? Who is this Melissa who keeps saying these things to you? My girlfriend. Silence on the other end. Lucas, this isn't right. Girlfriends don't say that kind of thing. That's emotional abuse, dude. No, she's just trying to help me. Help? By destroying your self-esteem? Lucas, for God's sake, you don't understand. She loves me. She supports me. She supports you? Dude, what kind of relationship is this? We talked for 2 hours. John told me how he and other friends had tried to talk to me at the beginning of the relationship, but I always had excuses not to go out. Always defended Melissa when they made some comment. We distanced ourselves because you disappeared, Lucas, not because we found you boring. We missed you. When I hung up the phone, my head was a mess. Was it possible that Melissa was wrong about everything? Was it possible that I wasn't this horrible person she said I was? I decided to try an experiment. At college, I started paying attention to people's reactions when I arrived. I tried to talk more with classmates, and they responded normally. They laughed at my jokes, they included me in conversations. No one changed the subject when I arrived. That's when I started questioning everything. The confrontation. "You're different," Melissa said on a Thursday night. "Distant." "No, I'm not." "Yes, you are. And you're spending too much time at college. You got home now at 8 p.m.? "I had a group project." "Coop project." She laughed with disdain. "With whom?" "With people from class. Mary, Carl, Anna." "Anna?" Her eyes flashed with anger. "That bitch who's making eyes at you?" "Melissa, she's not making eyes at me. She's just a classmate." "Lucas, you're very naive. Of course she's interested. And you, idiot, don't realize it. Or maybe she's just a nice person who's doing a group project with me. Wow, look at that. Now you're arguing with me." She got up from the bed where we were lying. "You know what? I'm tired. Tired of staying here, taking care of you, putting up with your insecurities, your problems, your low self-esteem. Tired of trying to mold you into a decent person." "Melissa." "No, Lucas, I'm done. You want to stay there making little friendships with this Anna. Perfect. See if she'll put up with you when you show who you really are. And who am I really? A failure. An ugly guy. With no personality, no ambition. who failed college because he has no competence for anything. This time, instead of feeling pain, I felt anger. You know what, Melissa? Maybe you're right. Maybe I am all that. But at least I'm not a cruel person who destroys the people they claim to love. Her face changed completely. For a second, I saw fear in her eyes. What did you say? You heard me. Lucas, you can't talk to me like that. I'm the only person who what? Who loves me? People who love don't say their boyfriend is ugly and stupid every day. She started crying, but it wasn't the usual crying. It was different, more calculated. You can't leave me, Lucas. I don't have anyone else. My family rejected me because of you. How is it because of me? They think you're not good enough for me. I fought with them to defend you, and now you want to abandon me? I didn't say I wanted to leave you. Then what's this whole discussion for? Why are you being cruel to me? And there she was, manipulating me again, making me feel guilty for defending myself. But this time, the voice in my head was louder. She's lying. She always lies. The discovery. The following weekend, Melissa traveled to visit a friend in another city. For the first time in over a year, I had 2 days completely alone. I called John and told him about the fight. Dude, you need to get out of this. This isn't a relationship, it's a prison. But she said her family rejected me because of me. Lucas, remember the birthday party she took you to? Her cousins? I remember. You said it was embarrassing, that the cousin commented that you were too intense. Yes. But dude, you told me at the time that it had been a nice party, that you had fun, that people had been nice to you. He was right. I vaguely remembered telling him about the party, and at the time, I had said it had been good. She changed the narrative afterwards, Lucas. She took a good memory you had and turned it into something bad. I started thinking about other situations. How many times had Melissa reminded me of things I supposedly had said or done, but that didn't match my original memory. Dude, let's do a test. Call her cousin. What do you mean? Get her Instagram and send a message. Ask if she remembers the party, if you were inconvenient or something like that. It was a crazy idea, but I needed to know. I found Melissa's cousin Carla's profile and sent a message explaining that I was going through some self-esteem problems and wanted to know if I had been inconvenient at the party. She responded in an hour. Hi, Lucas. What are you talking about? You were super polite and funny. Everyone liked you. I even commented to Melissa after the party that you were really nice and that she was lucky. Why this question? The world collapsed. Melissa had lied. Completely made up that I had been embarrassing. Made up that the cousin had complained about me. If she had lied about this, how many other things had she lied about? The final confrontation. When Melissa returned from the trip, I was determined to confront her. We need to talk, I said as soon as she arrived. Of course, love. I missed you. She tried to kiss me, but I pulled away. Melissa, I talked to your cousin Carla. Her face froze for a fraction of a second, but she quickly regained her composure. Oh yeah? About what? About her birthday party, about how I behaved. And she said I was polite and funny, that everyone liked me, that she even commented to you that I was nice. Melissa laughed, but it was a forced laugh. Lucas, do you believe her more than me? Of course she was going to tell you that. She wasn't going to hurt you. So you admit you lied? I didn't lie. I interpreted the situation differently than her. Maybe she was polite to you, but I saw people's embarrassment. Melissa, stop. Just stop lying. I'm not lying, she exploded, started screaming, crying, throwing herself on the floor. You're believing other people more than me. You don't love me anymore. Melissa, you made up that your cousin complained about me. You made up that I said Tarantino directed The Matrix. How many other things did you make up? I do everything for you. I support you. I love you. And you accuse me of being a liar. She started hitting herself, scratching her own face. I'm going to kill myself. Is that what you want? For me to kill myself? I panicked. I ran to hug her, to calm her down. No, Melissa, calm down. You don't love me anymore. Nobody loves me. I'm going to kill myself. I spent the whole night calming her down. In the end, I ended up apologizing for having misinterpreted the situation. But deep down, I knew. She was capable of faking a crisis to manipulate me, planning my escape. In the following weeks, I started secretly planning how to get out of the relationship. I knew it wouldn't be easy. She controlled my money, knew all my schedules, had access to my social media. I started slowly. I created a new email account she didn't know about. I got in touch with some old friends. I started saving small amounts from her allowance money. Most importantly, I started documenting everything. I recorded audio of fights on my phone. I screenshot messages of her humiliating me. I wrote down in a notebook all the lies I could prove. I also sought professional help. I scheduled some sessions with a psychologist through the health center, lying to Melissa that they were medical appointments. It was the psychologist, Dr. Robert, who helped me understand what was happening. Lucas, you're in an abusive relationship, he said in the second session. What your girlfriend does has a name. Psychological abuse, the escalation. Dr. Robert was right. As I became more emotionally distant, Melissa became more desperate. It started with more intense emotional blackmail. If you leave me, I'll kill myself, and it will be your fault. I told everyone about us. If you abandon me now, everyone will know what kind of person you are. Without me, you're nothing. You'll come crawling back when you realize nobody else wants you. Then, it moved to more direct threats. I have photos of you that you wouldn't want anyone to see. I know where you work, where you study, where your mother lives. I can destroy your reputation with one Facebook message. The last straw was when I discovered she was following me. One day I left college and decided to go to the mall with some classmates. I didn't tell Melissa because I wanted a little freedom. We were in the food court when my phone rang. Where are you? Her voice was ice cold. Still at college. Why? Liar. I'm seeing you. Plaza Mall, food court, table near McDonald's. My blood froze. I looked around and saw her, on the other side of the plaza, watching me with the phone to her ear. How did you? I've been following you for weeks, Lucas. Did you think you were going to fool me? I apologized to my classmates and went to her. Are you following me? I'm protecting my relationship. You've been lying to me, going out secretly, making friendships with people who clearly want to separate you from me. Melissa, this is sick. What's sick is you emotionally cheating on me with these new friends of yours. She dragged me to the parking lot. From today on, you're not going anywhere without telling me. Understood? You can't control me like this. That's when she slapped me for the first time. The sound echoed in the empty parking lot. I was in shock, with my hand on my face. Now do you respect me or not? I was shaking, not from pain, but from rage and fear at the same time. If you raise your hand to me again, what are you going to do? She laughed. Are you going to hit me? A man hitting a woman? Who do you think they'll believe? That's when I realized she wasn't just manipulative, she was dangerous. The escape. That night, I called Dr. Robert in desperation. She hit me and threatened to say I was the one who hit her if I reacted. Lucas, you need to get out. Today. Don't wait any longer. But how? She controls everything. Do you have family? My parents, but they don't know anything about her. Call them. Now, tell them everything. Ask for help. It was the most difficult call of my life. Mom, I need your help. I told her everything. The financial control, the humiliations, the isolation, the aggression. My mother cried on the phone. Son, why didn't you tell us before? I was ashamed. I thought it was my fault. You come home now. Your father has already left to pick you up. While I waited for my father to arrive, I started gathering my things. It had been 2 years of relationship, but I barely had my own belongings. Almost everything in the house was hers, bought by her, chosen by her. Melissa arrived home when I was packing. What are you doing? I'm leaving. For a moment, she was silent, then she started laughing. Do you think you can live without me? Do you think someone will want you? I don't know, but I'm going to find out. Lucas, you can't do this to me. I love you. No, Melissa, you don't love me. You own me. She instantly changed tactics, started crying, begging. Please, don't abandon me. I can change. I'll go to therapy. We can start over. It's too late. I'm going to kill myself. She ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. If you walk out that door, I'll kill myself right here. My heart raced, but this time I didn't give in. Melissa, put the knife down. No, you're going to stay here with me. That's when the doorbell rang. My father had arrived. Who is it? Melissa screamed. It's my father. I came to get you, son. Melissa looked at me with pure hatred. You told your family. You betrayed me. I saved myself. The aftermath. I managed to get out of her house, but that wasn't the end. In the first 24 hours, she sent 247 messages on my phone, called more than 50 times, sent emails, Instagram messages, Facebook messages, everything alternating between desperate pleas and direct threats. Please, come back to me. I can't live without you. You're trash. I hope you die alone. I'm going to tell everyone what kind of boyfriend you were. Forgive me, love, I've changed. I'm going to your house. Your parents can't protect you forever. I blocked her on all social media, but she created fake profiles. I changed my number, but she got the new one through mutual acquaintances. The worst was when she showed up at college. I was leaving class when I saw her leaning against my car holding a rose. Hi, love. Melissa, go away. I just want to talk. 5 minutes. We have nothing to talk about. Lucas, I've changed. I went to therapy. I understood my mistakes. She had actually gone to therapy 1 session. She showed the receipt as if it were a diploma. See, I'm getting treatment. Can you give me a chance? No. Please. She started crying right there in front of everyone. People stopped to look. He's abandoning me, she said to the onlookers. 2 years of relationship, and he abandons me like this. I got in the car and left. She kept running after the car, screaming my name, the legal battle. Things escalated when she found out I was in therapy. She showed up at Dr. Roberts' office on a Thursday. I was in the waiting room when she entered. "Hi, Lucas. How did you know I was here?" "I know you better than you know yourself." Dr. Robert came out of his office and immediately noticed the tension. "You must be Melissa," he said. "Lucas has talked a lot about you." "Oh, has he?" She smiled, but it was a cold smile. "And what did he tell you?" "I think it's better if we talk in private," Dr. Roberts said to me. "No, let her talk," I said. I was tired of being afraid. "Doctor, my boyfriend is going through a difficult phase. He's making things up about me. I think he's having a breakdown." "What kind of things?" "He says I'm abusive, that I controlled him. But actually, he was the violent one with me. I should be the one in therapy to overcome the trauma." I looked at Dr. Robert. He maintained a neutral expression. "Melissa, do you have any evidence of these aggressions?" "I didn't photograph the marks because I was ashamed, but I have witnesses." She was lying shamelessly. I took out my phone and played one of the recordings I had made. Melissa's voice echoed in the room. "You're ugly, with no personality, no ambition. You should thank me for putting up with you." Her face went white. That's fake." "I have 23 recordings, Melissa, and over 100 screenshots of your messages." She was silent for a moment. Then she smiled. "How clever. Recording your girlfriend secretly. What kind of person does that?" "The kind who's being abused and needs proof." "Well," she stood up, "since this is how you want to play, let's play." She turned to Dr. Robert. "Doctor, do you know it's a crime for a patient to record therapy sessions without consent? Lucas told me that you talked about very intimate things about other patients." "That never happened," I said. "Prove it." She was trying to threaten me through Dr. Robert, trying to destroy my psychological support. "Melissa," Dr. Robert said calmly, "I think you should leave. I'll call security if necessary." "No need. I'm already going." She headed to the door, but before leaving, she turned to me. "Lucas, you still don't understand. You can't run from me. I'll always be here. I'll always be part of your life, whether you want it or not." After that day, Melissa changed strategies. She stopped trying direct contact and started a psychological terror campaign. I discovered she had created a fake Facebook profile and was sending messages to people from my college, telling distorted versions of our relationship. "Hi, I'm Melissa's friend. Just wanted to warn you to be careful with Lucas. He used to beat her and has serious mental problems." Some classmates came to tell me about the messages. Others simply started avoiding me. She also started appearing in places I frequented. She didn't talk to me, just was there. At the supermarket where I shopped. At the bookstore I visited. At the snack bar near college. Always watching me, always smiling when our eyes met. My father wanted to go to the police, but I knew I didn't have concrete evidence of a crime. She was too smart for that. The worst was when she started interfering with my professional life. I had gotten an internship at a marketing company. In the second week, my supervisor called me for a talk. "Lucas, we received some concerning information about you." "What kind of information?" "A person who identifies herself as your ex-girlfriend contacted us. She said you have a history of aggressiveness and emotional instability." My world collapsed. She's lying. She's the one who stalks me. She's the one who... "Look, Lucas, I like your work, but the company can't take risks. It's better if you look for another place." I lost the internship fighting back. That's when I realized I had to stop running and start fighting. I looked for a lawyer specializing in moral harassment and stalking. I showed all the evidence I had collected, the recordings, the screenshots, the messages from people she had contacted. "You have a solid case," the lawyer said. "We can file for a protective order and sue for moral damages." But before that, I decided to try one last approach. I arranged a meeting with Melissa in a public place, a busy shopping center. I brought 2 hidden witnesses and a recorder. "Melissa, this needs to stop." "What needs to stop, love?" "You know what. The messages to people from college, showing up at my work, following me." "I don't know what you're talking about." "Melissa, I have proof. Screenshots of the conversations, witnesses who saw you following me. If you don't stop, I'm going to sue you." She laughed. "Sue me? Who do you think they'll believe? Me, a woman who was abused by her psychotic ex-boyfriend? Or you, who has a history of mental instability?" "What history? I never." "Lucas, you went to therapy. That's registered in your health insurance. You took medication for anxiety. You had breakdowns. Everything. Documented." She had twisted even my search for psychological help. "And you know what the best part is?" she continued. "I recorded several of our conversations too. Conversations where you admit to having mental problems, where you beg me not to leave you." It was true. At the height of manipulation, I had really begged her not to leave me, had admitted to feeling inadequate, had said things that could now be used against me. "So this is how it's going to be?" I asked. "This is how it's always been, Lucas. You never had a choice. You're mine. Forever." That's when I realized she didn't want to win me back. She wanted to destroy me for daring to leave. The victory. I left that meeting knowing that war had been declared. But this time, I was prepared. The 2 witnesses I had brought were John and a friend of his who works in private security. They had filmed the entire conversation from a distance. More importantly, Melissa had confessed to recording our intimate conversations without my consent, which is a crime. I went back to the lawyer, this time with more evidence. "She incriminated herself," he said after seeing the video. "She admitted to stalking, emotional blackmail, and non-consensual recording. Now we have something solid." We filed for an emergency protective order. Within 48 hours, Melissa was notified that she could no longer approach me, my family, my work, or my college. But the most important thing was what happened next. With the protective order in hand, I went to all the places where she had spread lies about me. I showed the court decision that recognized the pattern of stalking and defamation. The college was understanding. The supervisor from the company where I had lost the internship called me apologizing and offering my position back. "We received other complaints about this woman," he said. "It seems she did this to other ex-boyfriends too." That's when I discovered I wasn't the first. During the legal process, other victims of Melissa appeared. Bruno, 25, had dated her 2 years before me. His story was frighteningly similar: isolation from friends, financial control, constant humiliation, stalking after the breakup. "She told me exactly the same things," Bruno told me when we met. "That I was ugly, that she was the only one who would put up with me, that I couldn't live without her." Sam, the boyfriend before Bruno, also appeared, and then Jess and Thor. Melissa had a pattern. She chose young men with low self-esteem at vulnerable moments in their lives. She seduced them with excessive attention, Then began the process of psychological demolition. When they tried to leave, she would stalk them until they returned, or until she found someone new. I had been just the latest in a long line of victims. The trial was quick. With so much evidence and so many victims willing to testify, Melissa's case became unsustainable. She was convicted of stalking, defamation, threats, and harassment. In addition to the permanent protective order, she had to pay compensation for moral damages and was required to undergo psychiatric treatment. But the most important thing for me was the day of the hearing. For the first time in 2 years, I saw her without feeling fear, sitting next to my lawyer with my family behind me. With the other victims testifying, I realized she no longer had power over me. She tried to intimidate me with her gaze, as she always did, but this time, I didn't look away. I looked directly into her eyes and felt nothing. No anger, no fear, no guilt, nothing. She was just a disturbed person who had temporarily kidnapped my life, but I had survived. Recovery and new beginning. Today, 1 year after the conviction, I can say I've fully recovered. I'm doing well in college again, and I'm in my final year. I got an internship at a good company with supervisors who value me. I reconnected with old friends and made new ones. Most importantly, I learned to trust my own perception again. Dr. Robert explained to me that one of the most damaging things about psychological abuse is how it distorts our ability to trust ourselves. When someone constantly questions our memory, our perception, our feelings, we start to doubt our own sanity. What Melissa did to you is called gaslighting, he explained. It's a form of manipulation where the abuser makes the victim question their own reality. Recovery wasn't easy. For months, I questioned every decision I made. Was I being dramatic? Did she really love me and I just didn't know how to recognize it? But with therapy, family and friends' support, and especially with time, I was able to rebuild my self-esteem and confidence. A message of hope. If you're reading this and recognize similar patterns in your relationship, please seek help. Real love doesn't humiliate. Real love doesn't control. Real love doesn't isolate you from people who care about you. If your partner constantly criticizes your appearance, your intelligence, your dreams, that's not love. It's abuse. If you feel like you need to ask permission to have friends, to study, to work, to exist, you're not in a relationship. You're in a prison. And if you're trying to leave but are afraid of the consequences, remember, the person who truly loves you would never use their love as a prison. Today, I'm dating an incredible person, Sandy. She encourages me to grow, celebrates my achievements, respects my boundaries, and never, not once, has made me feel small or inadequate. When I told her my story, she didn't judge me. She hugged me and said, "I'm glad you were strong enough to get out. Many people can't." She was right. Getting out of an abusive relationship requires a strength you didn't even know you had. But that strength exists within you. Believe it. Melissa never tried direct contact with me again after the conviction. I heard through third parties that she moved to another city, and I hope is getting the treatment she needs. I don't hold any grudge against her. I understand that she's also a hurt person, probably a victim of some trauma that led her to behave that way. But my compassion for her doesn't cancel what she did to me, and it doesn't cancel her responsibility for her actions. If you're someone who recognizes yourself in Melissa's behavior, please seek professional help. Relationships are about growing together, not about controlling or diminishing the other person. And if you're someone who recognizes yourself in my story, know that you deserve real love. You deserve to be respected, valued, and free. You're not ugly. You're not stupid. You're not inadequate. You're a complete person who deserves happiness. And as scary as it might seem to leave someone who says they love you, sometimes the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is to leave. Your life is waiting on the other side of fear. Trust me, it's worth fighting for it.